Hi everyone, it's Miss Appia. In this video, I'll be talking to you about how to approach question 1 from the IGCSE English language exam. This is the format of question 1, so this gives you a clear idea in terms of what the question actually looks like. From lines 1 to 10, select 2 words or phrases that describe the Tromsø ice swimmers. You have to make sure that your answers are taken from the prescribed lines. So in this particular paper, the lines are from lines 1 to 10. Anything that's taken from any other lines that's not lines 1 to 10, you'll be awarded 0 marks for it. You have to focus your answers on words that describe the Tromsø ice swimmers. And it's really, really important that you just pick the direct quotes from the text because it says select 2 words or phrases. Obviously, for this example, the focus of the question is the description of the Tromsø ice swimmers, but for your exam, it can be anything. Another thing I would like you to pay attention to is the fact that this question is worth 2 marks. This means that we need 2 separate answers for this mark, 2 separate responses altogether because it's 2 marks. In this question, you have to make sure that you're selecting information. You copy the answer directly from the text. So in the example I've given you, you'll be copying the text, you'll be copying the response from lines 1 to 10. Do not paraphrase or rephrase, and do not make any inferences. From the question I just read, this is the text that it comes from. You can see that I've cropped it at line 10 just to give you the idea in terms of what it is that you actually need to do. I'll read it to you. In the passage, the writer describes an experience he had in Tromsø, north of the Arctic Circle. By the time we found the right beach, the fire is already lit and is burning beautifully. There's no clubhouse. As it turns out, just a circle of stones on the beach with this glorious blaze in the middle, and gathered around it are a small group of hearty Tromsø ice swimmers. There were 2 men and 2 women, all in late middle age, all in enviable good condition, to be honest. Is this down to the ice women? And all hilarious. Welcome, they shouted mirthfully. So my top tips for answering question 1 is to read the question as I've just gone through with you. Highlight important words in the question. It's really important to draw a line under the selected lines for that particular for question 1 so that you do not read beyond it. Read the text carefully, and whilst you're reading it, all you need to do is to select words or phrases that answer the focus of the question. You can pause the video now to have a go at the question 1 that I just showed you a few seconds ago. Okay. Now we're looking at candidate number 1's response. So the same question from lines 1 to 10, select 2 words or phrases that describe the Tromsø ice swimmers. The first response is small group of hearty swimmers. And the second response that this candidate has put is glorious blaze. Now, for their first response, they've received 2 marks because they've given us 2 separate answers or responses about the Tromsø ice swimmers. Number 1, that they're a small group, and the second part is that they can be described as party swimmers. Glorious blaze does not describe the Tromsø ice swimmers. So it's really important that even though this candidate received 2 marks, it's important that you are separating your ideas as much as possible so that you can achieve the maximum marks for this. Candidate number 2, they've put as their first response as hilarious because that describes the Tromsø ice swimmers, and the adjective hearty to describe them too. So you can use this to kind of gauge your responses that you came up with as well. Okay, I'm giving you another opportunity now. This is from the June 2018 paper for you to practice. You can go back in the video to have a look at the steps that I'd mentioned that are the top tips in terms of securing top marks for question 1. The harbour, I put the S, was small, sufficient only for a few small fishing boats and pleasure craft, which on that day were rocking gently on their moorings. Although the harbour is well defended against the Atlantic Ocean to the east, there was little protection from the westerly breeze that was blowing that day. So we've read the text. We're going to look at the question now. From lines 1 to 4, which I've already underlined, select two words or phrases that describe the harbour. 2 marks. I'll advise you to pause the video here and just have a go at responding to this question. Go back a few seconds, read the question, circle the focus of the question, read the text, and directly copy the quotes from the text. 2 words or phrases that describe only the harbour. I've taken this from the June 2018 marks game just to give you an idea of what the responses that the examiners will be looking for. So anything along the lines of it being small, sufficient only for a few small fishing boats and pleasure craft, the fact that it's well defended against the Atlantic Ocean to the east, and little protection from the westerly breeze. Anything along these lines, you will receive your 2 marks. My final top tips again are to draw a line under the selected lines of the question. Do not copy directly from copy directly from the text. Do not rephrase and do not make any inferences. You will do not get marks for it. You will lose marks for this.